All right, this is from karstenig.no, whatever that means. No, and it's a photograph of limestone, coralline limestone they call it, and they call this a sedimentary rock, and it's absolutely, totally not a sedimentary rock. That is a living creature's tendon emplacement. This is muscular fibers. That is the blood investments, the vein and the artery, one or the other. This layer here is where the transition goes between the fibrous material, and then it ends up with this material here, which is, I believe they call it leucine-rich proteins. And there, you see all these little vascularizations. This is the blood-rich layer between tendons and muscles, the connective tissue. From what I can find, on the face of the earth, there is virtually no sedimentary rock. All these things they say are sedimentary rock, that's not true. There's nothing like sedimentary rock. These are the layers of not necessarily human, I'm not saying that for a fact. These are creatures. And these are the tendinous layers. And I show this over and over, and there is no dispute in my mind that this could possibly be anything else. And these are the vascular entries that every single one of them has. And if you go in your backyard and you pick up a rock, you will find there's two spots on there in virtually every rock, if it's an independent little rock and not a piece of lava. And that rock will have a vein and an artery, because every piece of every creature has blood investments in it. If it's a blood invested creature, if that's what they do, is they consume oxygen. And that's what these creatures did. And I have thousands of situations I can show you, like identical. And I mean all over the place. Tendons are, connective tissue is the stuff that just never goes away. That stuff there. Now, the red meat in a creature dissolves, and that becomes iron oxides, and guess what else it becomes? It becomes sand. I'm telling you, that's and the sand is the outer layers where you have silicon dioxides heavy in the fascia and the skin. Silicon is 50 times more concentrated in the skin and connective tissue things than it is in your bloody red parts of your body. Those are the things that wash away and go away quickly, the red parts. And the outer skin, and then that part goes into the iron oxide, just red dust. Now, when you get out to the skin, it's a different issue, because the skin is heavily invested with blood, yes, but it's also heavily invested with minerals. And those minerals are silicons and silicon dioxides. And when they petrify, they turn into little tiny cellular grains that adhere to other percolates that are coming down, and they create these little tiny sand grains. And that's what all the sand is on this earth. And there is nothing on this earth that is not from life, and there's nothing in space that's not from life. Comet 67P is, guess what? A tendon. It's a tendon. I have a video on that, and if you could tell me that that's not a tendon, tell me what it is. That is a tendon. I articulate every single... There's just no question about it. Anyway, the tendons don't go away. And as a matter of fact, University of Copenhagen did a study and found out that the people that established their tendons in 1960 or in the early 60s, when they were doing nuclear tests, still have the same tendons today. They didn't regrow them. They don't replace themselves. Tendons are virtually inert. Once they're established in your body, that's it. You own them. They don't, like all the rest of your body keeps getting replaced, not tendons. The people that grew up in the 60s that have this higher levels of radiation because of the testing that was done in nuclear testing, they still have the same level, and everything else in their body has gone back to normal. So that shows you the tendons don't get replaced, and then on the face of the earth they don't get replaced either. Hutton's unconformity on Sicker Point was how he based tectonics. That's not tectonics. That is a tendon. I have a video on that as well. The layers are there. Everything is there. This is virtually no question. Mars is covered with dead life. All of this stuff I have completely, totally, without question, shown. And if anybody can come up with any other explanation than I present, I will love to talk to that person. That's what I have to say. And as far as I can determine, the ancient texts were virtually 100% correct. Titans, all of this stuff. Giants in the earth, absolutely. The earth is not anything like science is telling us now. I think it's time to look and see what we really have here, because we're just being thrown a handful of stuff that's not edible. Let's get something here that we can really work with, because they're not paying attention to any reality. And this stuff is being scorned. I mean, you should see. I've been blocked, and people are reporting me for things that I never did. And I have a picture of a car that I put up there was reported as nudity. And they're doing it to everybody that has anything to say against academia. They're really bullies. They're terrible bullies. And they have been for years. Velikovsky was destroyed in 1950. He had the bestseller book, and they made him take it off the market. That's insanity. Insanity. And they talk about book burners. Well, we got them. We got lots of them. And they live in the places where they are supposed to be teaching us the truth. And that is a problem.